Listen, everyone's talking about home theater setups that'll blow your mind, but here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. The number 7 system on today's list is so bad, it actually makes movies sound worse than your TV speakers. I tested it with Mad Max Fury Road, and during that insane chase scene where cars are flying everywhere, the rear speakers just went silent. Complete washout. But don't worry, because the system at number 1, it shocked even the audio experts I talked to, and it's not what you'd expect. Stick around because we're ranking 7 complete 7.1 home theater systems from absolute worst to genuine best. And I'll tell you exactly which ones are worth your money and which ones you should avoid like the plague. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you want more honest tech reviews. And drop a comment below telling me which speakers or soundbars you're using right now and what problems you're facing with them. Are your rear speakers too quiet? Is your bass muddy? Let me know because I read every single comment. Alright, let's get into it. Now, if you're new to home theater, you might be wondering what makes a 7.1 system different from the 5.1 setups most people have. It's actually pretty simple. That 7.1 means 7 speakers and 1 subwoofer. You've got your center channel for dialogue, left and right front speakers, 2 side surrounds, and here's the key part, 2 rear surrounds. Those extra rear channels are what separates 7.1 from 5.1, and when it's done right, they create this bubble of sound around you that makes action movies and games feel absolutely real. But when it's done wrong, and trust me, we'll see some examples today, it's just a waste of space and money. The thing about 7.1 systems is they need room to breathe. We're talking medium to large spaces, somewhere between 200 and 400 square feet. If your room is smaller than that, you're honestly better off with a good 5.1 setup. And here's something most salespeople won't tell you. The receiver, that's the AVR or audio-video receiver, matters just as much as the speakers themselves. You need at least 100 watts per channel to really drive these systems properly, especially if you're sitting 8 to 12 feet away from your screen. Anything less and you'll get thin, weak sound that ruins the whole experience. Rank 7 Logitech Z906 with basic AVR. Starting at the bottom, we have the Logitech Z906 paired with a basic receiver, and this comes in around $450. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's cheap for a full 7.1 setup. And you're right, it is cheap. But there's a reason for that. Logitech markets this as 500 watts of edX certified power with DITS support. And on paper, it looks amazing for someone just starting out. The problem shows up the second you try to watch anything with real dynamics. I tested this system with everything from quiet dialogue scenes to explosion-heavy action movies, and here's what happened. The dynamics are just flat. When a car explodes in a movie, you should feel that punch in your chest. With the Z906, it sounds like someone's tapping on a cardboard box. The rear speakers are especially weak. They're supposed to create that immersive wraparound effect, but instead, they just kind of whisper at you from behind. And if you're thinking about future-proofing, forget it. This system has no Atmos upgrade path whatsoever. You're stuck with basic surround sound from 2010. The only people I'd recommend this to are folks who need multiple input sources on an absolute shoestring budget. Maybe you want to connect your TV, your gaming console, and your computer all at once, and you literally have no other money to spend. But even then, I'd tell you to save up a bit more. The listening fatigue you'll get from these tinny speakers after an hour of use just isn't worth the savings. Rank 6 Onkyo HT S5910. Coming in at number 6, we've got the Onkyo HT S5910 for around $600. This is what I call a beginner's wired setup, and it does have some things going for it. You get 80 watts per channel, support for Dolby and DETS formats, and everything you need in one package. Onkyo's been making receivers for decades, so they know what they're doing when it comes to processing audio signals. But here's where it falls short. First, these speakers are bulky. Like really bulky. If you've got a modern minimalist living room, these black boxes are going to stick out like a sore thumb. Second, the bass is just average. The included subwoofer tries its best, but when you've got a deep rumble scene like thunder rolling through or a spaceship engine, it just doesn't dig deep enough. You're missing that visceral feel that makes home theater special. The receiver itself is solid for the price, but you're not getting any of the modern conveniences like wireless rear speakers or advanced room calibration. You'll be running speaker wire all over your room, which means either drilling holes or buying cable covers. For someone who's never set up a home theater before and wants to learn the basics without breaking the bank, this works. But you'll probably want to upgrade within a year or two once you hear what better systems can do. Rank 5 Yamaha Yaechi 4950U. At number 5, we have the Yamaha Yaechi 4950U, priced around $650. Now, Yamaha has a reputation for making gear that lasts forever, and this system lives up to that. You're getting 80 watts per channel, MusicCast support for streaming, and Yamaha's legendary reliability. I've seen these receivers run for 10 years without a single hiccup. The big issue here is the sound signature when you first set it up. Out of the box, the high frequencies are tinny and harsh. It's like listening to music through a telephone. Cymbals sound like someone's crinkling aluminum foil next to your ear. The good news is this is fixable through calibration. Yamaha includes a basic microphone for their Yepao room correction system, and once you run that, the sound smooths out considerably. But here's the catch. Most people don't calibrate their systems properly. They just plug everything in and start watching movies. What makes this system worth considering despite that flaw is the expandability. MusicCast means you can add Yamaha wireless speakers in other rooms and stream music throughout your house. If you're building a whole home audio setup over time, this is a solid foundation. The receiver has enough HDMI inputs for all your devices, and it supports modern formats. Just be prepared to spend an afternoon tweaking settings and running that room correction multiple times until you get it right. Rank 4 Fluence Elite 7.1 with Yamaha RX V6A. Moving into the better territory, number 4 is the Fluence Elite 7.1 package paired with a Yamaha RX V6A receiver. This combo runs about $1,600, which is a significant jump from what we've looked at so far. But you're getting way more for that money. The Yamaha receiver pumps out 100 watts per channel in a 7.2 configuration, which means you can actually add a second subwoofer if you want. And it's Atmos ready, so when you decide to add ceiling speakers down the road, the receiver can handle it. Fluence makes speakers that prioritize accuracy over flash, and you can hear it immediately. Dialogue is crisp and clear without being harsh. When someone whispers in a movie, you catch every word. Action scenes have separation, meaning you can actually tell where different sounds are coming from instead of everything just blending into mush. The subwoofer that comes with this package digs down low enough to give you real impact without being boomy or muddy. The only reason this isn't ranked higher is the aesthetics. These speakers look old school. They're big wooden cabinets that remind you of your dad's stereo system from the 90s. If you care about having sleek, modern-looking gear, these might not be your style. But if you care about sound quality above everything else and you're on a budget, this is where you start getting into serious home theater territory. The realism is there. Movies sound the way the director intended them to sound. Rank 3 Klipsch Reference Theater Pack 7.1 with Onkyo. At number 3, we've got the Klipsch Reference Theater Pack 7.1 paired with an Onkyo receiver coming in around $1,200. Now we're talking about a name that serious audio people respect. Klipsch has been making speakers since 1946, and they're famous for their horn-loaded tweeters. What that means in plain English is the high frequencies are incredibly efficient and dynamic. Horns project sound forward with this energy and immediacy that makes dialogue pop and effects feel live. This particular package includes a wireless subwoofer, which is huge for installation. No more running a thick cable across your room to wherever the sub sounds best. Just plug it in, pair it, and you're done. The satellites are compact enough to mount easily on walls or tuck onto shelves, which makes this perfect for smaller rooms where you don't have space for big tower speakers. But here's the limitation: power. The receiver included in most bundles at this price maxes out around 100 watts per channel. And while that's decent, if you've got a larger room or you like to crank the volume for action movies, you'll start to hear the system strain. The speakers themselves can handle more power, but the receiver is the bottleneck. That said, for small to medium rooms where you're not trying to shake the walls, this system delivers that classic Klipsch sound. Bright, dynamic, and engaging. You won't fall asleep during quiet scenes because everything has this presence to it. Rank 2 Definitive Technology Pro Cinema 1007.1. Number 2 is the Definitive Technology Pro Cinema 1007.1 system, priced at about $1,800. Definitive Technology uses these proprietary BDSS drivers that are designed to move more air while staying small. What you get is surprisingly deep bass from tiny satellite speakers and a subwoofer that shakes your room without taking up half your floor space. Where this system shines is balance. The front soundstage blends seamlessly with the surrounds and rears, creating that bubble effect I mentioned earlier. You're not aware of individual speakers, you're just immersed in the sound. The imaging is precise, meaning when a helicopter flies from front to back in a movie, you can track it smoothly through space. It doesn't jump or disappear like cheaper systems. The catch with Definitive Technology is they assume you're pairing their speakers with a strong receiver. These speakers are efficient, but they reveal everything your receiver does. If you've got a weak AVR, you'll hear it. The recommendation is to pair this with at least a mid-range Denon or Yamaha receiver with good amplification and room correction. Do that, and you'll get some of the most balanced, immersive sound available under $2,000. This is the system for people who want their home theater to sound like a real cinema, not just loud, but accurate and enveloping. Rank 1 Klipsch Reference Premiere 7.1 with Denon Avirar X3800H. And finally, at number 1, the best 7.1 home theater system you can buy in 2026 is the Klipsch Reference Premiere 7.1 package paired with the Denon Avirar X3800H receiver. This setup costs around $4,000, which I know sounds like a lot, but hear me out. This is world-class audio that will last you a decade or more. Let's start with the receiver. The Denon X3800H outputs 105 watts per channel in a 9:4 configuration, meaning you have room to expand to Atmos or add more zones. It includes Dirac Live Room Correction, which is hands down the best calibration system available outside of professional installations. Dirac doesn't just adjust volume levels. It corrects phase issues, time alignment, and frequency response problems caused by your room. The difference between a system with and without Dirac is night and day. The Klipsch Reference Premiere speakers are a massive step up from their cheaper lines. The horn-loaded tweeters are made with titanium diaphragms, which means they can reproduce the entire high-frequency range without distortion, even at high volumes. The woofers use ceramic cones that are extremely stiff and light, so they respond instantly to changes in the music or soundtrack. What this means for you is dialogue that cuts through even the loudest action scenes, and effects that have texture and detail. I tested this system with everything. Quiet jazz records where you can hear the fingers on the bass strings, explosion-heavy movies like Dune, where the sound design is as important as the visuals, fast-paced games where you need to hear enemy footsteps behind you. This system handled everything with dynamics and clarity that made cheaper setups sound broken. When a gunshot happens on screen, it's not just loud. It has attack and decay. You hear the initial crack, the reverb in the space, and the fade. That's realism. The bass extension with a good subwoofer paired with this system goes down to 35 Hz, which is low enough to reproduce movie sound effects and music fundamentals accurately. And because the system is so efficient, it stays effortless even when you're pushing it hard. No listening fatigue, no harshness, Just clean, powerful sound that makes you want to watch movies and play games all day. Here's what really shocked me though. I brought over a friend who works as a sound engineer for films, and after listening to this system, he said it was more accurate than some of the smaller mixing stages he's worked in. For $4,000, you're getting professional grade audio in your living room. And since the receiver can handle 9 channels, when you're ready to add Atmos height speakers, you just buy 2 more and configure them. No new receiver needed. So let's wrap this up. We've gone from the disappointing Logitech Z906 that can barely handle a YouTube video, all the way to the Klipsch reference Premiere system that competes with commercial cinemas. The key takeaway here is that 7.1 audio is only worth it if you do it right. You need proper power, decent room size, and calibration. Don't fall for marketing hype about THEX certification or crazy wattage numbers. What matters is real-world performance, build quality, and whether the system can grow with you. If you're on a tight budget and just want to dip your toes into surround sound, save up for at least the Fluence package at number 4. Anything cheaper is honestly a waste of money that you'll regret in 6 months. If you've got the space and the budget, that Klipsch and Denon combo at number 1 will change how you experience entertainment at home. It's an investment, but it's one that pays dividends every single time you press play. Alright, that's it for today's ranking. If this helped you figure out which system is right for your setup, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me which rank you're going with, or if you have questions about any of these systems. Subscribe if you want more honest, no-nonsense tech reviews without the fluff. All the links to these systems are in the description below, so check those out and upgrade your home theater the right way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.